A very good morning to all of you. I'm Thilin Hettiarachchi and my research topic is milk clotting properties of Bryopilum pinnatum, Calotropis gigantea, and Solanum incarnum crude proteases on bovine, buffalo, and goat skin meal. Before going to the more details, let's look at the content. Cheese, a dairy product we all love to eat. But giving exact definition for cheese is difficult due to the variations in the production process as well as the final products. Generally, cheese is a fresh or ripened, solid or semi-solid product obtained by coagulating raw materials through the action of rennet or other suitable coagulating agents. The first essential step in cheese production is the milk coagulation, which involves destabilizing the casein micelles and forming a three-dimensional structure called gel. It can achieve either by using acid coagulation, where milk proteins get coagulated at the isolated point, or either by enzyme-induced coagulation, where milk proteins get coagulated by hydrolyzing. Rennet is a mixture of chymosin and pepsin obtaining from the abomasum of suckling cows. Is the most widely used milk coagulant in cheese industry. It cleaves the 105th and 106th peptide bond in kappa casein, partially hydrolyzing it into para-kappa casein, which facilitates the milk coagulation. Due to increasing world population, economic growth, changes in dietary behaviors, the demand for world cheese production is increasing day by day. However, the supply of rennet is limited. High price, dietary restrictions, religious taboos, animal welfare concerns like factors are also affect negatively on rennet usage. Any solutions? Rennet substitutes. To become an alternative coagulant, that respective substance should show similar biochemical properties to that of carbapenem, such as high milk protein fiber, high specificity toward kappa casein, proteolytic activity at cheese making, pH and temperature, sufficient thermostability to ensure proper weigh removal without residual coagulant activity. Microbial and recombinant proteases have become the most widely used rennet substitute. However, factors like health concerns, ban of recombinant products in some countries like Netherlands, Germany, France, and due to the negative consumer preference, their usage is also limited. Therefore, using plant proteases as milk coagulants has become very interesting. Easy access, high availability, simple extraction procedures, animal welfare concerns, potential nutritional and health benefits, freedom from religious taboos like factors are also encourage the usage of plant proteases as milk coagulants. However, excessive proteolytic activity, low milk clotting activity to proteolytic activity ratio has resulted lower cheese yield and textural and sensory defects in cheese. The quality and the yield of the cheese also depend on the type, dose, and the enzymatic activity of the plant proteases. Activity of plant proteases on different types of milk other than the bovine milk has not been studied in many cases. Therefore, the application of plant proteases in the cheese industry is limited. With that, there's an open requirement to find novel plant proteases having similar characteristics to that of chymosin with low proteolytic activity. With this regard, there's a huge trend in scientific world to find out novel plant proteases that show optimum activity to use them at industrial level. Immature leaves of Bryopilum pinnatum, commonly known as miracle leaf. Tender stems of Calotropis gigantea, commonly known as crown flower, and ripened fruits of Solanum incarnum, commonly known as bitter apple, proposed as possible milk coagulants in this study. Therefore, the objectives of these studies were to investigate milk clotting activity of miracle leaf, crown flower, and bitter apple crude proteases on cow, buffalo, and goat skin meal compared to the carp rennet, and to determine the proteolytic activity and to derive the milk clotting index, and to determine the effect of temperature on milk clotting activity of selected plant proteases. When it's come to the material and methods, all the plant materials were washed thoroughly using prior to the usage, and finely chopped materials were homogenized using acetate buffer, and the clear supernatant are obtained after the centrifugation used as the crude proteases. Half rennet used as the control, and all the milk sample were skimmed in order to get rid of the effect of fat content, and standardized for protein content to get rid of the effect of different level of protein content, as higher protein content always lead to higher milk clotting activities. The chemical composition of the skim milk samples is shown in this table. To determine the protein content of crude proteases, bioregister was used, and proteolytic activity was determined using a spectrophotometric method. An ability of a protease to hydrolyze kappa casein known as the milk clotting activity. To determine the milk clotting activity, a substrate including 10% skim milk in calcium chloride solution were mixed with each crude proteases, and time taken to form first appearance of milk clots were recorded. Samples taking more than 60 minutes to form milk clots were neglected, as it indicates poor milk clotting activity. The ratio between the milk clotting activity and proteolytic activity is the milk clotting index, and samples were incubated at different temperatures to determine the effect of temperature on milk clotting activity of crude proteases. When it's come to the results and discussion, the protein content of the crude proteases was significantly different, and the highest protein content was observed on miracle leaf. Generally, plant parts involved in reproduction tend to have higher protein content. The unique vegetative reproduction of miracle leaf and the inclusion of seeds in the bitter apple might be the reason for them to have higher protein content compared to the stems of crown flower. When it's come to the proteolytic activity, cheese industry always prefer low proteolytic activity, as excessive proteolytic activity always tend to lose cheese yield and causing defects in sensory and textural properties. The miracle leaf shows the lowest proteolytic activity, whereas crown flower, bitter apple shows same proteolytic activity as calf rennet. Therefore, they appear to be the most suitable for cheese production. When it's come to the milk clotting activity and milk clotting index of proteases on cow milk, miracle leaf and calf rennet show similar and the highest milk clotting index, milk clotting activity on cow milk, whereas crown flower and bitter apple show lower and similar milk clotting activity. However, when it's come to the milk clotting index, the milk clotting index of miracle leaf appear to be the highest due to the low proteolytic activity. Higher milk clotting index mean higher the suitability for cheese production. However, when it's come to the observable yield, miracle leaf shows much low observable yield compared to the other samples. When it come to the buffalo milk, crown flower did not show any milk clotting activity within 60-minute period, which indicates poor milk clotting activity towards buffalo milk. And the highest milk clotting activity on buffalo milk observed on calf rennet. However, like on cow milk, when it's come to the milk clotting index, miracle leaf shows the highest milk clotting index due to the low proteolytic activity. Nevertheless, unlike on cow milk, miracle leaf shows more or less similar observable yield and efficiency compared to the other samples. When it comes to the goat milk, neither crown flower nor bitter apple show milk clotting activity within 60-minute period. However, miracle leaf showed exceptionally higher milk clotting activity and milk clotting index compared to the calf rennet. And the observable yield of the miracle leaf was much higher than the calf rennet. Therefore, miracle leaf appear to be the best source for goat milk. When it comes to the effect of temperature, neither miracle leaf, crown flower, bitter apple show any milk clotting activity around room temperature. but increased temperature, proteases show incremental milk coating activity. However, Miracle Leaf show stable increment. And the optimum temperature for the cow milk for the crude proteases appear to be around 60 Celsius. When it's come to the buffalo milk, like on cow milk, all the proteases did not show any milk coating activity around room temperature. However, the optimum temperature for the buffalo milk appear to be around 50 Celsius. When it's come to the goat milk, only crown flower and bitter apple did not show any milk coating activity around low temperatures and showed optimum milk coating activity around 50 Celsius. However, Miracle Leaf shows exceptionally higher milk coating activity throughout the all temperatures, even around the room temperature. And the optimum temperature for the milk coating activity appear to be around 60 Celsius. To conclude this session, this study provides the evidence of milk coating activity associated with the all crude proteases, Miracle Leaf, crown flower, and bitter apple on cow, buffalo, and goat skim milk. And temperature has a significant effect on milk coating activity of all the crude proteases. Among them, Miracle Leaf proved to be the most suitable renal substitute for cheese making, especially for goat and buffalo milk. However, further study should merit of purification, casing hydrolyzing patterns, and optimization of their condition and suitability of these crude proteases for cheese making in order to use them as healthy, natural, cheap, barrier-free renal substitute at cheese industry. With that, I'm concluding my session. Thank you very much.